Hello everyone, this is another student's quest. This question from probability is sent to me by Aditya Anand from Patna. The question says that a certain kind of bacteria either die, split into two or split into three bacteria. There should be bacterium, it means one single entity actually has three possibilities to grow. The grow means the first is the no grow, like either die. The second is split into two, it will grow into two and split into three bacteria. So again it will split into three. And each bacteria is identical, exact copies. Means like this is just suppose you are in a certain stage, you are thinking that this is a new stage or the stage as it is copied from the beginning. The chance of dying is 1 by 4. The chances of splitting into 2 is half and splitting into 3 is 1 by 4. If the probability that it survives for infinite length of time is m minus root 3 by n, where m and n are natural numbers, so you have to find out the ratio of m and n. So before I solve this question, I request you to attempt this question and then we will see what is happening. So I hope we attempted it. Let's try to do it. Suppose I have one bacterium at the initial stage and it may die. Die means actually there is no growth in it. So suppose it dies, what is the chance that it will get survived for any lineage? It's 0. Now it dies, so the probability it is given as 1 by 4. Then it is split into 2. So let us say that split into 2. Then that chance is given 1 by 2 and then split into 3, then that probability is given 1 over 4 again. Now let's try to understand it this way. At this stage there is no growth further, but here what will happen, suppose this is 2, it is split into 2, means for split into 2 means one thing happened, incident happened, split into 2. Now at this position I have two such bacteria, like one bacteria is here and one bacteria is here, and from this position you want to observe the entire scene or entire thing for this bacteria. Again it's a new kind of same bacteria has happened, so as if the growth is starting from here again. So again this bacteria has two possibilities that it can, three possibilities, it can die here soon, or it can split into 2, or it can split into 3. Similarly for it, again if it split into 3, it means at this stage what is happening, there are 3 such copy of the same bacterium, and at this position again one entity or one copy has again 3 choices. Either it can die, or it can split into 2, or it can split into 3. If it is splitting into 2 or 3, there is a chance of survival. But at every stage, suppose it dies, it means there is no such further growth is happening, and in that case there is no survival. So it's actually convenient to find out the dying probability or non-survival probability rather than survival probability. So how we define this whole thing in language, let me just write this first. So let us call that n is an event that for which the event of not survival at any stage. At any stage means at one particular stage. I am saying that from there or maybe at n stage or any at any particular stage. Means we are suppose sitting on one stage here and we try to look at that after that what is the chance of getting non-survival. So this is actually not at particular stage is not surviving, it's from any particular stage should be a correct word. So let's call it from any particular stage. Now the S is, I'm calling the event that is no survival. Survival. So survival from any particular stage, and then I say that the probability of n plus probability of S must be 1. And for convenience, let's say probability of n is small p. So for just calculation purpose. So let's think in this way now. Suppose I want to calculate the probability that it's a non-survival after death. So this is actually probability of non-survival after death of the bacteria at any stage. So at any stage it is dying or it is dead, then what is the probability of non-survival from that stage if it dies? So that is going to be probability of dying is 1 by 2. Let me confirm. Yes, sorry, 1 by 4. Probability of dying is 1 by 4. And if it dies, what is the chance of it not surviving? Of course, it's 1. So this is going to be 1 by 4 into 1. Now suppose you again want to define it. Probability of a non-survival if it splits into 2. TW, let's say. So I'm writing in this way. Probability of non-surviving after splitting into 2. So what I write that? You notice that if I can say that here, probability of splitting into 2 is 1 by 2. And suppose it is there, it has split into 2 there, and now for each copy of the bacterium there is a new kind of beginning, as if you are starting from the same beginning. It is like, suppose you are on this stage, you are thinking of non-survival for the bacteria as if you are in the beginning and again thinking the same thing. It means from here again for non-survival of the bacteria, I can directly write as the small p, because this is the non-survival for any stage, from any stage actually. Now suppose but the problem in this situation is it is splitting into 2, and splitting into 2 means that at this position after half there is one bacteria here and one bacteria here. Suppose in this situation what is happening, this gets survived and this get not survived, it means now this entire definition will be wrong. Why? Because we are saying that probability of no survival after split into 2. It means both of the branches after this or both of the copies should not survive, and each copy is identical. So I can say that this is nothing but p into p. Each has no survival probability. Now probability of 3 is split into 3 and no survival. So again you understand what the detail I'm going to write it. So probability of no survival after splitting into 3 into 3. So that is going to be 1 by 4. And now you notice that there is a 3 pieces of same bacteria. So this has no survival, this has no survival, this has no survival. So that is going to be p into p into p. Now if I want to say that no survival, then I say that the no survival total probability must be equal to 1 by 4 plus this when it splits into 2 plus this when it splits into 3. So I can write there is a 1 by 2 p squared and then 1 by 4 p cube. Now all that I have to find out the value of p from this cubic equation. So let's find it. So this is going to be 4p is equal to 1 plus 1 plus 2p squared plus p cubed. Therefore p cube minus 4p plus 2p squared plus 1 is equal to 0. Now we can apply the remainder what we call rational root theorem, and then we see that 1 is a possible solution or not. So let's substitute p is equal to 1. So we can identify that this is p is equal to 1. If I substitute, that is going to be 1 minus 4 minus 3, and this is 3. Therefore p is equal to 1 is one of the roots, so I can say that p minus 1 is one of the factor. So this is going to be p squared and minus p squared, I have 2p squared, yes, so minus p squared, so plus 3p I need, and then minus 3p and minus 1. So this is going to be, now there's one interesting thing is p is equal to 1. If you are looking for what is the meaning of this, is certain death, and when it happens, when there is no growth, there is no split, it means the growth is so slow that is to be certain. But that is not actually they're asking that there's a, see the question carefully, it survives for infinite length of time. So we are not looking for that, we are looking for such probability which will not survive for infinite length of time, and then we are subtracting from that value from 1, then we will get the survive for infinite number of time. So this is not going to be happen. So let's find it, this thing, p squared plus 3p minus 1 is equal to 0. So p is equal to negative 3 plus or minus square root of 9 plus 4 divided by 2. So that must give you p is equal to negative 3 minus root 13 by 2, which is rejected actually because of negative quantity, and we have to also confirm that the probability we are getting must be lesser than, the value we are getting must be lesser than 1. So minus 3 plus root 13 is less than 4, and we are subtracting a number which is less than 4 and more than 3. From that you are subtracting 3 and dividing by 2, so that must be less than 1. But what is the probability of survival? So let's say S or P, what are you written? PS. So PS is nothing but 1 minus P. Let's calculate it. So 1 minus 3 plus root 13 by 2. So that is going to be 5 minus root 13 by 2. What they're asking that, so notice that this is also m minus root 13 by n, and I have m and n value known. So m is 5 and n is 2, and they're asking m plus n, no, m by n. So they're asking m by n, so that is going to be 5 by 2, which is 2.5. It is a numerical one then. So this is the solution for this question, and this idea came from the recursion theory of probability. Means we can make an iteration process in probability system also, and from there we create an equation, and from that equation we get the probability. We can also think in this way that suppose here I have taken the like a main probability as the non-survival. We can also make survival, but a little bit cumbersome to think or maybe hard to think, but we can do it. Suppose the survival you are taking, this value will become 0, but each of this we have to write 1 minus s the whole square, like, and 1 minus s the whole cube. So again in the terms of s it will come as the cubic, and from there we can get direct value of s. So that's all for today. See you in the next video with some other interesting question. Till then, stay math active.